Order. You're going too far, Leader of the Opposition. You're going too far. Try to behave. You're in Parliament. Try to behave. You're in front of the population. Try to behave. Too many things wrong. Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQ B82. Honourable, it's time for you to leave. I know this is your time to leave. Please leave. Your time has come. Please leave. I'm waiting for you to leave. Exactly. Please. The table has been advised that PQ B825 would be replied by the Honourable Minister of Information, Technology, Telecommunication and Innovation. PQ B861 would be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister, time permitting. So it's Prime Minister's question time. Honourable Boda.
B806, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, with your permission, I shall reply to parliamentary questions B806, B808 and B816 together. In regard to the arrest of Mr. AB in August 2022, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that following both an extensive intelligence gathering and sustained surveillance operations conducted by the police headquarters special striking team proceeded with a search warrant to the dwelling of Miss DDM at Palma Road, Quatre-Bornes, on Friday, 19th of August 2022 at around 2200 hours. The team confirmed the presence of Miss DDM as well as that of Mr. AB inside the house. They were both informed of police presence and the purpose of its presence. Despite repeated requests to open the main door, access was denied to the police for a lawful search. However, the police officers on site saw, from outside, Mr. AB grabbing a bag and proceeding towards another part of the dwelling. They then broke open the main door and entered the house. Mr. AB then returned towards the police without the bag while making a live video of the unfolding events. He was reportedly hostile and uncooperative with the police. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am also informed by the Commissioner of Police that during the search carried out in the presence of both Mr. AB and Miss DDM, the police found the following items which were secured for analysis by the Forensic Science Laboratory. One transparent plastic parcel in the bedroom tied with a knot containing a significant amount of leaf matter suspected to be synthetic cannabinoids. 2, a resealable transparent plastic in a wooden drawer containing a tissue paper with a certain quantity of leaf matter suspected to be synthetic cannabinoids. 3, a shoulder bag of black and grey color was found in the bathroom. It was the same bag that the police had seen from outside the house and which was carried away sneakily by Mr. AB. The bag contained the following items: 2 transparent plastic parcels, both tied with a knot and containing a significant amount of leaf matter suspected to be synthetic cannabinoids. a pair of jeans trousers of blue color containing particles of leaf matter suspected to be synthetic cannabinoids, and free booklets of roll your own cigarette papers make OCB. The first one containing 1 roll your own cigarette paper, the second one containing 25 roll your own cigarette papers, and the third one containing 23 roll your own cigarette papers. 4 residues of leaf matter were found scattered on the floor near the toilet bowl, on the toilet cover seat, and inside the toilet bowl. And 5, 6 pieces of transparent plastic, each containing a certain quantity of leaf matter suspected to be synthetic cannabinoids, found in the sewage pipes and manhole in the backyard of the dwelling. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. A.B. and Ms. D.D.M. were both arrested on 19th August 2022 and cautioned for the offense of drug dealing, possession of synthetic cannabinoids for the purpose of distribution in breach of the Dangerous Drugs Act. On Saturday, 20th August 2022, Mr. A.B. and Ms. D.D.M. were provisionally charged for drug dealing before the court. The police objected to their release on bail. On Tuesday, 6th of September 2022, Mr. A.B. was granted bail after furnishing 2 sureties of 50,000 rupees each and a recognition of 350,000 rupees. In accordance with the conditions of the bail, Mr. A.B. has to 1. Report every Saturday at Sodnak Police Station between 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. 2. Provide a telephone number to the police on which he should remain readily accessible and available. And 3. Inform the police of any change of address. On Wednesday, 7th of September 2022, Ms. D.D.M. was granted bail after furnishing 2 sureties of 50,000 rupees each and a recognition of 300,000 rupees on the condition that she should report every Saturday at Sodnak Police Station between 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am further informed that a motion to strike out the provisional charge against Mr. A.B. was made by his panel of counsel on Tuesday, 6th of December 2022, and the police objected to the motion. On Tuesday, 28th March 2023, upon a ruling delivered by the District Magistrate of Bamboo Court, the provisional charge was struck out. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am also informed by the Commissioner of Police that on completion of the inquiry, the case file of August 2022 was referred on Monday, 10th April 2023 to the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice. The file was returned to the police on Wednesday, 24th of May 2023 with certain queries which are being attended to. Mr. Speaker, sir, in regard to the arrest of Mr. A.B., Mr. A.V.B., and Ms. D.D.M. on Tuesday, 20th of June 2023, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that on 16th of June 2023, a parcel from Frankfurt, Dutch Post, Germany, arrived on board British Airways flight BA 2065 from London by DHL Packet Courier Services. The address on the parcel was Avenue des Tulipes, Quatre-Beaunes, and also contained a local mobile number. On 19th of June 2023, based on information gathered, the parcel was intercepted by a team of the Special Striking Team at Ground 2 Air Warehouse, Sasiv Sagar Ramgulam International Airport, by virtue of a search warrant. The parcel was opened in the presence of officers from Postal Services, Plaisance Air Transport Services Limited, Customs Anti-Narcotics Section, Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit, and the Special Striking Team. It was found to contain the following: one transparent resealable plastic sachet containing 17 small resealable plastic sachets, each containing 10 pills of color baby pink with a flower and a star logo engraved on them, and 110 pills loose with flower and star logo engraved on them. 2. One transparent resealable plastic sachet containing 22 small resealable plastic sachets, each containing 10 pills of color baby pink. 3. One transparent resealable plastic sachet containing 500 pills of color pink with Red Bull engraved on them, and one small resealable transparent plastic sachet containing 22 pills of color red and also containing some fragments of the pills. As the pills were suspected to be dangerous drug ecstasy pills, a preliminary test by way of a rapid test kit was carried out by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Section, which revealed to be positive. The drugs were seized as exhibits and will be forwarded to the Forensic Science Laboratory for analysis. Consequently, on 20th of June 2023, pursuant to Section 55 of the Dangerous Drugs Act, a joint controlled delivery exercise was triggered by the police. During the course of the operation, Mr. AB and Ms. DDM were arrested. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am also informed that on 20th of June 2023, following certain reliable information and by virtue of a search warrant, police searched the premises of Mr. AVB, and a certain quantity of pills suspected to be dangerous drugs were secured. He was arrested. On 21st June 2023, provisional charges were lodged before the District Court of Grand Port against the suspects for offences as follows: A. Conspiracy to import dangerous drugs against Mr. AB, Mr. AVB, and Ms. DDM. B. Attempt to possess dangerous drugs for the purpose of distribution, for an averment of trafficking against and possession of prohibited goods against Mr. AB. And C. Drug dealing, possession of dangerous drugs for the purpose of distribution against Mr. AVB. Police have objected to the release on bail. They were remanded to police cell up to 27th of June 2023. The counsel of all the three suspects have made a motion to the court for their respective clients to be admitted to bail. On 26 June 2023, the three accused appeared before the District Court of Grand Port, and they have been granted bail subject to certain conditions. Their next appearance in court will be on 7th of December 2023. An in-depth inquiry is ongoing into the case. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to enlighten the House that controlled delivery is a special investigative technique used when a consignment of illicit drugs is detected and allowed to go forward under the control and surveillance of law enforcement officers in order to secure evidence against the organizers of such illicit drug traffic. This technique has proved to be effective in identifying and bringing to justice those in the illicit drug traffic. The controlled delivery technique is in accordance with Section 55 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 2000 and in line with Article 11 of the United Nations Convention against illicit traffic in narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. The technique merits wider use, and it does not involve any element of entrapment. It has been used most effectively when illicit drugs are discovered in unaccompanied freight consignments or in the post. Mr. Speaker, sir, today it deems important to me to point out that the officers put their lives at risk in conducting this kind of investigation. The House would sadly recall the tragedy which occurred in November 2020, when a woman constable lost her life while conducting a controlled delivery exercise at Beauvallon. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have time and again expressed my unflinching commitment and resolve to address the drug scourge, but we will win the battle only if we are all together in this fight. However, it is sad to note that some persons from certain quarters have preferred to side with the drug barons and are attempting by all means to manipulate public opinion through the press and social media. But that will in no way discourage us in our crusade to rid the country of drug traffickers and their accomplices.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can the Honourable Prime Minister enlighten the House as to the process in place for sending suspected drug exhibit to the Forensic Science Laboratory for analysis? Thank you.
Let me see. Mr. Speaker, sir, drug exhibits are sent to the Forensic Science Laboratory for analysis as per the provision of Section 58 of the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Act of 2022. Section 58(2) of the Act reads as follows, and I quote, "The police officer in charge of the investigation shall, as soon as possible, request FSL to analyze the dangerous drugs seized to determine its nature, identity, and weight," unquote. The law also provides for the accused to request a counter-analysis of the dangerous drugs following the report of the FSL. Section 58(c) reads as follows, and I quote, "An accused may, on being informed in writing of the contents of the report of the FSL, request 1. Another sample of the dangerous drugs to be analyzed by FSL or an accredited science laboratory to determine the nature, identity, and net weight of the drugs, or 2. the net amount of the dangerous drugs to be analyzed by an accredited science laboratory to determine the nature, identity, and net weight of the drugs, unquote. Section 58(3)(b) stipulates that the request for counter-analysis of the drugs shall be made in writing to the police officer in charge of the investigation not later than 14 days after the accused is informed of the contents of the report of the FSL. Under Section 58(3)(c) and D of the Act, the accused shall, not later than 30 days after making the request for counter-analysis of the drugs, cause, under the supervision of the police officer in charge of the investigation, another sample of the dangerous drugs or the net amount of the dangerous drugs, as the case may be, to be analyzed. And the cost of the analysis is to be carried out, shall be borne by the accused.
MP Bada.
Can I be entitled to 2 questions, Mr. Speaker?
One by one, if time permitting.
Okay. Can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm to the House whether the controlled delivery exercise of the SST under the supervision of the SP Jagai has been carried out through established protocol, or was it an exceptional one using a dummy parcel and a decoy as a postman?
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, if the honourable leader, if the honourable member has listened carefully to my answer, I have stated clearly that under the law prescribes for a manner in which a parcel can be delivered under controlled circumstances. Now, the honourable member is asking me whether this has been done as per the protocol or as per the law. It is not for me to determine whether this has been done according to law. It will be ultimately, if ever there is a case before a court of law, it will be for the magistrate or for the judge then to decide evidence before the court whether everything has been done according to the law. So I have some information about this controlled delivery, but it is not for me to decide and to judge and to say in this House now on my personal opinion about the way it has been conducted.
Honourable Nakshidi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In his replies, the Honourable Prime Minister mentioned that a parcel came by British Airways and the address on which the parcel had to be delivered figured as Avenue Tulip, Catherbourne. So can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm whether the address on the parcel containing the ecstasy pills is the same as that of Mr. AB? Thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the address on the parcel and that of Mr. AB is the same, which is Avenue des Tulipes, Catherbourne.
Can I ask the Prime Minister whether he can confirm that the controlled delivery exercise failed because Mr. AB refused to take delivery of the dummy parcel?
Well, what I know, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that those persons I have mentioned, Mr. AB, Mr. AVB, and Ms. DDM, have been arrested. Now, it will be for the court to decide whether the controlled delivery, the way, the manner in which it has been done, what are the circumstances, what has been said. I'm sure the honourable member knows very well what has been said. So it is not like for us here to be like a court of law and for me to adduce evidence and for him to be putting questions and then for us to decide whether this whether this delivery has been done according to law, what has happened, that will be for the court to decide. Eventually, as I say, because I cannot prejudge what is going to happen. The case is going to be inquired into. The case file will be sent to the DPP, and it will be for the DPP to decide what charges to prefer, if ever, against those accused, and eventually for the court.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in view of the foreign origin of the parcel, can the Honourable Prime Minister apprise the House on the regional and international cooperation agreements to which Mauritius is a party in the fight against drugs trafficking?
Yes, this is important, Mr. Speaker, sir, because I have time and again said that it is important in order to be able to be more efficient and effective in combating drug trafficking, that we do not only get organized to the maximum locally, but that we have international collaboration, especially with countries of the region, that is in the Indian Ocean, in the region, and also with international organizations. That is why, as I said, in our resolve to fight the drug mafia and drug trafficking, international cooperation and precisely information sharing is of paramount importance. And to that effect, Mauritius has signed a series of agreements which include a bilateral agreement with India on drug trafficking and related matters, a memorandum of understanding with Mozambique on drug demand reduction and prevention of illicit trafficking in narcotic drugs and psychotropic substance, and drug asset investigation in associated judicial proceedings and related matters, a memorandum of understanding with the UNODC on crime prevention and drug control, and a memorandum of understanding with Seychelles on bilateral cooperation in demand and supply reductions of drugs. Mauritius is also a signatory member of the Protocol on Combating Illicit Drug Trafficking in the Southern African Development Community region, and of the Protocol d'accord with Madagascar on la coopération dans le domaine de la lutte contre le trafic illicite de stupéfiants, de substances psychotropes et de précurseurs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My question would refer to the provisional charge for drug dealing on Saturday, 20th August 2022, whereby Mr. AB and Ms. DDM were provisionally charged for drug dealing. Can the Honourable Prime Minister state whether the police at that time objected on bail in that particular case? Was there any kind of objection at that particular time in 2022? Thank you.
Well, from information that I have, Mr. Speaker, sir, on Saturday, 20th of August 2022, Mr. AB and Ms. DDM were provisionally charged for drug dealing before the court. The police objected to their release on bail. However, as there was no representative from the DPP's office in court, the police objection was not acceded to. And on Tuesday, 6th of September 2022, Mr. AB was granted bail after furnishing 2 sureties of 50,000 rupees each and a recognition of 350,000 rupees.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether there has been an enhancement in the intelligence system in the fight against drug trafficking?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I can inform the House that the Anti-Drugs and Smuggling Unit is carrying out more focused intelligence, leading to targeted operations, and the newly set up Special Striking Team is contributing to that. The enhanced overall strategy includes the following: the drug mapping to locate areas of concern where drug activities are being carried out and drug addicts tend to loiter, profiling of persons of interest through discrete surveillance to identify their role and involvement in the drug nexus. More aggressive crackdown operations are effected in drug-prone area with specialized units of the Mauritius Police Force, such as the Marine Commandos, GIPM, and police dogs, acquisition of modern equipment, such as drones for surveillance and reconnaissance missions, additional resources in terms of vehicles and manpower have been provided to ADSU to increase its operational effectiveness. And the ADSU personnel have also been provided with training and sophisticated equipment to enhance their operational capabilities. The ADSU, Mr. Speaker, sir, is extensively collaborating with other law enforcement agencies involved in the fight against drugs and related offenses, such as money laundering, with a single aim to dismantle drug and other criminal networks. The ADSU is also working in close collaboration with the National Drug Secretariat, together with other agencies such as the MRA Customs Anti-Narcotics Section, Ministry of Health and Wellness, and others. And this has created a good platform which has allowed the ADSU to enhance its intelligence and operational capacity.
Thank
you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honorable Prime Minister mentioned about the objection concerning the case of the year 2022. Now for the last one, that is of the 20th of June 2023, can the Honorable Prime Minister inform the House whether there had been any objections to the bail motions presented before the District Court of Gampo yesterday? Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am informed that the police objected. May I be allowed to
Please.
answer
Continue.
in peace, please? Yeah.
No. Forget that.
Kita berode.
The Honorable Prime Minister, you may continue.
Yes,
with
but
your reply.
I'm being interrupted,
Yeah,
Mr.
excuse
Speaker,
him,
sir.
excuse him.
Yes.
Excuse him.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the police objected to the motions for the release on bail of the suspects on the following grounds. If released, applicants are likely to fail to surrender to custody or to appear before court as and when required. If released, applicants are likely to commit an offense other than an offense punishable only by fine. And if released, applicants are likely to interfere with witnesses and tamper with evidence. However, the DPP's representatives, on the instructions of the DPP, did not object to the release of the suspects on bail. They have been granted bail subject to certain conditions, and their next appearance in court will be on 7th of December 2023.
Honourable members, I would just inform the House that the Prime Minister has been answering question B806, B806, Honourable Boda, B808, Honourable Nakshedi, B816, Honourable Mayot. This is why there were so many questions I allowed. Now, the table has been advised that PQs, the following PQs have been withdrawn. B809, B812, B815, B817, B821, B824, B826, B827, B829, B830 have been withdrawn. Questions now, Honourable Amos.
B831. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the new contract for the supply of petroleum products has not yet been awarded by the State Trading Corporation. With regard to Part C of the question, I am informed that as part of the recent tendering exercise carried out in May 2023 by the STC. For the procurement of white ores, there are 7 bidders who quoted for the supply of petroleum products.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Can you confirm whether this tender exercise carried out by the STC will be referred to the Competition Regulation 2023 as mentioned in the highlight of the Cabinet meeting dated 16th of June 2023?
May I ask the Honourable Member will be referred to? Here.
I'm referring to the highlight of Cabinet meeting Friday 16th of June 2023, paragraph 3, which mentioned that Cabinet has taken note that the Competition Regulation 2023 would be promulgated to provide for the Competition Commission to inquire on competitive matters relating to MOGAS and so on.
Mr. Speaker, sir, this is totally irrelevant to this particular question. Come with a proper question. I'll give you the answers.
Next question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. B-stroke 832, please.
Okay. Monsieur le Président, la question posée par l'honorable membre concerne le précaré de la Banque de Maurice en tant que banque centrale indépendante en charge de la conduite de la politique monétaire. À cet égard, il n'est pas approprié de répondre à la question telle que formulée. Toutefois, Monsieur le Président, le gouvernement a pris sa part active et a activé tous les leviers à sa disposition pour soutenir le pouvoir d'achat des Mauriciens. Comme je l'ai à plusieurs reprises expliqué dans cette auguste assemblée, l'augmentation du taux d'inflation à Maurice, ainsi que dans la plupart des pays du monde, est principalement due à des facteurs externes, à commencer par la guerre en Ukraine. J'ai également énuméré la liste des mesures prises par le gouvernement pour protéger et améliorer le pouvoir d'achat de la population. Dans le discours du budget 2023-2024, en tant que gouvernement bienveillant, nous avons renforcé ces mesures de soutien et en avons introduit de nouvelles pour protéger le pouvoir d'achat de la population. Monsieur le Président, outre ces mesures, nous avons aussi pris des actions concrètes pour réduire le taux d'inflation. Nous avons réduit le prix du gaz, nous avons supprimé la TVA sur certains produits, nous réduirons également le déficit budgétaire au cours de l'exercice 2023-2024, ce qui atténuera les pressions inflationnistes. Voilà, Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, I have the impression that the Honourable Minister does not go to the shop, does not do any shopping. Does he know that day in, day out, the rupee is constantly being depreciated? And we all know that the pandemic and energy crisis is behind us. What is being done in concrete terms to stop fleecing consumers?
Monsieur le Président, à ce moment-là, je vais rappeler à l'honorable membre, peut-être qu'il a un peu oublié ce qui s'est passé dans le passé. Vous savez, le passé, si, Monsieur le Président, il a la liberté de poser les questions, j'ai la liberté de répondre à ces questions. Chacun son libre arbitre. Monsieur le Président, de 2006, 2007, 2008, on le sait bien, il y a eu 30% d'inflation cumulée. Le taux repo, le taux d'intérêt à l'époque était de 9%. 9%. Est-ce qu'à ce moment précis, on avait entendu quelques membres de l'opposition dire qu'il fallait baisser ou augmenter le repo rate? Rien, parce qu'ils savaient très bien que c'était l'indépendance de la Banque centrale qui décidait où est-ce qu'on allait. La Banque centrale a un comité, le MPC, le Monetary Policy Committee, qui décide de la décision concernant la politique monétaire. Maintenant, pour revenir sur le taux d'inflation, à la même période, il y avait des taux d'inflation de presque 10%. Rien, je dis bien, rien n'a été fait pour soulager la population à l'époque. Rien. Il y avait aussi des dépréciations dues à la conjoncture, des dépréciations de 10, de 11, de 12%. Nous avons affronté la pire crise qui a affecté la balance des paiements. Nous avons eu un manque de devises de presque 100 milliards de roupies. nous avons dû compenser avec la réserve de la Banque de Maurice, ce qui fait qu'il y a eu un glissement de la valeur de la monnaie. Nous ne pouvons pas dire que c'est quelque chose de voulu, c'est quelque chose de subi. Le taux d'inflation actuel est le résultat de la pandémie, le résultat de la hausse conséquente du fret, mais aussi, et on le dit bien, oui, mais aussi de la dépréciation de la roupie. Mais nous prenons des mesures, je ne vais pas citer, j'ai une cinquantaine de mesures là sur mon ordinateur. Je ne vais pas citer chaque mesure. Nous avons pris des mesures pour soutenir la population parce que nous savons que l'inflation, c'est une taxation sur les pauvres. Nous ne sommes pas restés ici de ce côté, les bras croisés, à ne rien faire, à dire des choses. Nous avons pris des actions. Est-ce que c'est suffisant? Bien sûr que non. Mais nous faisons le maximum en fonction de ce que nous pouvons faire avec la finance publique. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Notwithstanding the verbal diarrhea of the Minister of Finance. And the
Order! Order! Supplementary question is asked for clarification. No comments, no remarks.
Mr. Speaker, is he aware that people who are poor are becoming absolutely poor? And nothing is being done. I'd like to know what concrete measures have been taken to address the issue of poverty and to rein in inflation.
Monsieur le Président, Monsieur le Président, je vais commencer à ce moment-là. Je vais lui dire. Je vais lui dire. Monsieur le Président,
what is happening in this house? Are you in Parliament? Please reply.
Monsieur le Président, la première des mesures dont nous sommes tous fiers ici, la première des mesures, ça a été de quadrupler la pension de base. C'était à 3 600 roupies. La deuxième des mesures, Monsieur le Président, c'est d'avoir maintenu les subsides sur tous les produits de base pour ne pas que ces produits subissent la hausse qu'ils auraient dû avoir. Le gaz devrait être à plus de 600 roupies. Aujourd'hui, c'est à 240 roupies. Monsieur le Président, il veut savoir la troisième raison pourquoi nous, ici, nous travaillons pour cette population. Le salaire minimum, Monsieur le Président, était à 1 500 roupies. Il est à 15 000 roupies. Monsieur le Président, toute la classe moyenne, Monsieur le Président, toute la classe moyenne jusqu'à un salaire de 50 000 roupies sont en train d'avoir une allocation de 1 000 roupies. Et en plus, nous sommes en train de donner 1 000 roupies à tous ceux qui ont contracté un prêt jusqu'à une valeur de 5 millions de roupies, 1 000 roupies par mois. Monsieur le Président, est-ce qu'à l'époque, on avait pensé à ce genre de mesures quand l'inflation était à 10%? Non. On peut continuer, mais je préférais donner l'occasion à d'autres ministres de répondre à d'autres questions parlementaires. Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Order. Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQB 864 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Youth Empowerment, Sports and If you need more time, I can just sit down and relax and you... Whenever you are ready, just tell me. PQB 864 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Recreation. PQ B891 will be replied by the Honorable Minister of National Infrastructure and Community Development. PQ B894 will be replied by the Honorable Minister of Environment, Solid Waste Management and Climate Change. PQ B901 will be replied by the Honorable Attorney General, Minister of Agro-Industry and Food Security. Next question.
833.
Mr. Speaker, sir, with a view to improve the neonatal service, my ministry enlisted the services of Professor Simon Clark, Vice President for Policy at the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health in the United Kingdom under the Foreign Visiting Team Scheme. Professor Clark is a neonatal consultant at Sheffield Teaching Hospitals NHS Foundation Trust, where he is currently the clinical lead of the department. Professor Simon Clark was initially in Mauritius in October 2021 when he visited the neonatal intensive care units of the 5 regional hospitals and provided training to doctors and nurses in neonatal care. He also held a workshop for gynecologists and pediatricians based on the situational analysis carried out on the antenatal and neonatal care. Subsequently, Professor Clark was invited to provide his support in establishing an advanced training programs so that the pediatricians in public health institutions could be certified to work as neonatologists. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Clark came back to Mauritius in April 2022 for a period of 1 month. During his visit, he effected ward rounds with the specialists and medical and health officers on a weekly basis to provide his input on the care and treatment of critically ill babies and submitted his recommendations. Professor Clark also provided support in the training of doctors, nurses, and midwives to achieve a multidisciplinary approach in the care of critically ill newborns. He assisted in the implementation of National Health Service neonatal guidelines and protocols which would apply in all the neonatal intensive care units to standardize the current practice. In addition, the professor has kindly agreed to provide a 1-year training in neonatology at the Royal College of Pediatricians and Child Health United Kingdom to 2 medical and health officers, senior medical and health officers. It is to be noted that 1 medical and health officer, senior medical and health officer, has already started the training in the United Kingdom on 20th January 2023 and is expected to complete same on 7th January 2024. Once the expected date of training for the 2nd medical and health officer will be submitted by the professor, necessary arrangements will be made accordingly by my ministry. Mr. Speaker, sir, Professor Simon Clark also provides face-to-face online lectures on a frequent basis, once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on case discussions for pediatricians and medical and health officers, where he provides his expert input for the difficult neonatal cases that are discussed with him. He also runs lectures about new updates in the management of critically ill neonates so as to support our local pediatricians and medical and health officers to develop an updated approach in neonatal practice in regard to the management of extreme preterm babies. It should be emphasized that all this work is done on a purely voluntary basis, free of charge for my ministry. Mr. Speaker, sir, I again wish to inform the House that Dr. Simon Clark was enlisted under the Foreign Visiting Team Scheme of my ministry and not on a contractual basis. Under this scheme, my ministry provides facilities such as air tickets, accommodation, transport, VIP access, and temporary registration with the Medical Council. As such, there is neither a contract nor any remuneration provided to him. Mr. Speaker, sir, in view that Dr. Simon Clark holds several top managerial positions in UK, his availability is quite limited. To further the clinical training of health professionals in the field of neonatology and pending the completion of the training of the 2 medical and health officers in the field, my ministry is envisaging to enlist his services under the Foreign Visiting Team Scheme ANU for a few weeks in or around September 2023.
The Honourable Minister informs the House whether the services of other experts in the field of neonatology will be retained by his ministry.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. There is one Mauritian, that is Mauritian national, a diaspora, Professor Arvind Bandhu. He is a certified physician in neonatology and pediatrics, Connecticut, USA. He also visited Mauritius a few months back, and he is also keen to develop a training program to modify the existing curriculum to meet the training needs of the neonatal ICU in Mauritius. So we are enlisting the different experts in this field so that they can come in Mauritius and give the proper training and capacity building of our Mauritian doctors and nurses.
Next question.
B834.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed by the Municipal Council of Aqua Phoenix that out of 13 tenants, 7 of them have arrears amounting to a total of 2,537,088 rupees and 60 cents as follows. Firstly, the Mauritius Post Limited owes an amount of 72,644 rupees, representing 2 months' rent in respect of an office space, and no action has been initiated yet as the tenant owes only 2 months' rent. Secondly, the Ministry of Labour, Human Resource Development and Training owes a total amount of 577,702 rupees, representing rent due in respect of 4 office spaces, and a letter has been addressed on the 22nd of June 2023 by the Council requesting the Ministry to settle the dues. Thirdly, the Ministry of Gender Equality, Child Development and Family Welfare owes an amount of 28,613 rupees, representing 1 month's rent, and no action has been initiated as only 1 month's rent is due. Fourthly, the Central Water Authority owes a total amount of 167,201 rupees, representing rent due in respect of 3 office space, and a letter has been addressed on the 22nd of June 2023 by the Council requesting CWA to settle the dues. Fifth, Resto Tamaris Limited owes a total amount of 918,000 rupees, representing rent due in respect of 2 commercial spaces, and payment is being made as per arrangement with the Council following legal action. Mrs. Kamini Biwaji owes the amount of 591,628 rupees, representing rent due in respect of a commercial space, and legal action has been initiated by the Council against Mrs. Biwaji. The Council has decided not to renew the lease agreement until full and final settlement of all the arrears is done. Seventh, Garuda Cover Plus Limited owe an amount of 181,300 rupees, representing rental due in respect of a commercial space, and legal action has been initiated by the Council against Garuda Cover Plus Limited.
Monsieur le ministre, je n'ai pas encore eu l'occasion de consulter la liste que sûrement vous allez déposer à l'Assemblée nationale. J'ai 2 cas particuliers. Le premier cas, c'est concernant Madame DR. Madame DR loue l'emplacement commercial numéro 10 dans ce complexe et elle a une ardoise de 143 000 roupies à ce jour, d'après le dernier Finance Committee du 17 mai 2023. Madame DS a cette ardoise et son contrat a été renouvelé alors qu'elle est actuellement siégeant sur ce comité de Finance Committee en tant que conseillère de la municipalité du MSM. Elle est adjointe maire à la municipalité de Vakwa. Comment est-ce possible, monsieur le ministre, qu'une adjointe maire a une ardoise de 143 600 et elle siège sur le Finance Committee pour décider qui sont ceux ou celles dont on doit poursuivre pour ne pas avoir payé les rentals?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I mean, according to the list that have been given, I don't have that name. Is it Mrs. DR? And office number?
Numéro 10.
Numéro 10.
Commercial unit number 10 et enclosed stall number 11.
Office number 10 ou commercial space number 10?
Commercial, d'après le procès verbal, commercial number 10, unit 10 et enclosed stall number 11. Elle est adjointe maire à la municipalité de Vakwa Phoenix. Et elle siège sur le comité.
Et c'est Garuda Cover Plus, ça, c'est pas ça?
C'est bon.
Enfin, I don't know. I see commercial space number 10, Garuda Cover Plus, has an area of 181,300 rupees, and legal action has been initiated against Garuda. If it's the same person, I don't know, because that's what I've got in my papers that has been given to me.
Permettez-moi d'avoir le deuxième cas que je voudrais soulever ici à l'Assemblée nationale. C'est une compagnie, Elephant Security Limited. Elephant Security Limited a comme directeur M. N.A., ancien maire travailliste à la municipalité de Vakwa Phoenix. Ancien maire travailliste, passé au MSM depuis quelque temps. Ce monsieur, cette compagnie, Elephant Security, j'arrive, a une ardoise de 218 000 roupies 200 à la municipalité et son contrat, Elephant Security Limited, monsieur le ministre, a été renouvelé alors que cette compagnie, ce monsieur, proche du MSM, a une ardoise de cette envergure à la municipalité. D'autres, les contrats sont résiliés. Est-ce que je peux savoir cela, monsieur le ministre?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I've got it. Mr. Speaker, sir, pour Elephant Security, commercial number 7, amount due is nil. Was that what I've got here? No, anyway, is that what I've got? That's what I've got.
Wait, no gimmicks. You finished?
That's it.
Honorable Itu?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. On another note, I've been there have been several representations from few names the Honourable Minister has just mentioned with respect to closure of these commercial lots during the COVID period. I would ask the Honourable Minister whether he has been made aware of these requests, whether his ministry is considering to waive a waiver for certain of these commercial lots. For these people have been, what I've been made to understand, these people have been paying their loyer for many, many years, and now it is on a humanitarian ground that many of them have requested that there be a waiver since they've been closed for many months during these two COVID periods we suffered. Thank you.
I know some representation has been made, but I don't know specifically about this particular company, but I can check on it.
Honourable members, I'll suspend the sitting for 1.5 hours.